Mindfulness can bring peace and deep inner knowledge. Richard can help you deepen your practice. Watch this video to learn more. So today I'll talk about generosity, and this is one of the 9 essential attitudes of mindfulness as defined by Jon Kabat-Zinn. They form a foundation for mindfulness, and they are non-judging, patience, beginner's mind, trust, non-striving, acceptance, letting go, gratitude, and generosity. And with this session, I have reviewed all of these essential attitudes. Together, they open your ability to be in the moment, quiet your mind, and deepen your meditation. I've found in my own life that a generous attitude, sharing with others what I have, brings me a kind of internal happiness that is greater than almost anything else. These sessions are one example of this attitude. Generosity is best when it asks for nothing in return. That's why for the last 15 years, I just give it away without asking for money or even gratitude in return. A feeling that helps me in this is a sense of sufficiency, that I have enough, that there is enough. Another is gratitude. I feel like I have received so much from the universe that I want to give some of it back. Generosity is turning away from self-centered action and turning our time and attention to the needs of others. It's important also to remember that it can be practiced not just with others, but with yourself. Practice generosity towards yourself by self-acceptance. With this, you can receive from yourself and from the universe. You can accept generosity. So how does this help with meditation? There are several ways. In terms of quieting the mind is noisy because it's continually looking into the world for where it will find happiness. The desire for happiness is the basis of the feeling of wanting more. If you feel like you have enough, though, this naturally quenches the desire for more. Then your mind becomes naturally quieter. So you have better meditation. Another element of generosity, selfless giving, is the core of the ancient Indian idea of karma yoga. This is the idea of cause and effect as it works out in your life. You can change what will be coming to you in karmic terms by doing things that benefit others instead of yourself. Each selfless act adds to your positive karmic bank account. At another level, benefits to meditation comes from the reducing of your focus on yourself. This is another case where your attitudes and actions can soften your internal desires, which, if you look at them, are all really desires for yourself. This quiets the mind when there is less reaching outside for personal desires. I talked about this a few months ago at LCUUF when I talked about giving. The punchline from this talk was, if you want to be happy, give it away. It's interesting to me now that neuroscientists who study the brain have started to identify brain benefits from generosity and have started to study it. They've studied compassion meditation, intimately connected to generosity, with brain scans, and found that generosity activates particular areas of the brain. The scans revealed significant activity in the insula, a brain region near the frontal lobes that plays a key role in the conscious experience of emotion. When long term meditators were focused on compassion, the strength of the insula was also associated with this meditation, and the intensity of the activation was associated by the intensity of the meditation as assessed by the participants. The insula is extremely important in detecting emotions in general, and specifically in mapping body responses to emotion, such as heart rate and blood pressure, and making that information available to other parts of the brain. Activity also increased in the temporal parietal juncture, the TPJ, particularly in the right hemisphere. This area is important in processing empathy, especially in perceiving the mental and emotional states of others. Both of these areas have been linked to emotion sharing and empathy. The combination of these two effects was much more noticeable in expert meditators as opposed to novices. So this is very powerful. These findings support uh, these brain scientists' working assumption that through training, people can develop skills that promote happiness and compassion. That's actually something we are doing with our meditation sessions each week. They say people are not just stuck at their respective set points. We can take advantage of our brain's plasticity and train it to enhance these qualities. Now, kindness has a very concrete space in the brain. It shares this space with the same neural networks as empathy. When While one feeling identifies needs, the other translates this sensation into spontaneous action to promote good and offer help and happiness. This is the impetus for generosity. This means that you have evolved to be kind and generous. It's a biological tendency, like Charles Darwin said, where love, compassion, care, and generosity have a specific end to allow us to survive and prosper as a species. Now, this is from How Kindness Impacts the Brain and Benefits Mental Health by David Hamilton, PhD, who studies kindness. He says kindness makes us happier and also protects against depression. That's what the science says. In a typical kindness study, people are asked to carry out a certain number of acts of kindness over the course of a day, a week, a month, or longer. And their happiness levels are either compared against people who are not doing the kindnesses or against their own happiness before they began the study. Every version of these kinds of studies, the results are clear. Being kind makes us happy. So, why is this so? Why does kindness make us happier and protect our mental health? There are a few reasons. One is that deep in the human psyche is the sense that helping others is the right thing to do. For some, it's spiritual. Kindness aligns us with a deep sense of spiritual purpose. Secondly, helping others simply feels satisfying. For many, no explanation is necessary. It's just the way it is. Kindness feels right and feels good. The end. Now, from a recent Scientific American article, kindness can have unexpectedly positive consequences. It says, our work suggests that simply being part of a positive pro-social interaction is meaningful beyond whatever it is a person receives. People understand that cupcakes can make folks feel good, to be sure. But it turns out that cupcakes given in kindness can make them feel surprisingly good. When someone is thinking primarily about the tasty treat they're giving away, they may not realize that the warmth of that gesture is an extra ingredient that can make the cupcake even sweeter. You want deeper meditation, more peace, more happiness. Subscribe now to continue to find ways to get more from your meditation.